What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Predator 228. So when Wismec approached me about doing this video, I was super excited because I could not wait to get my hands on what they would come out with next, and the RX series never failed me in the past, so I was just kind of anticipating something great, which they definitely delivered. This is a sinuous design, Wismec-made device, dual battery, 18650s obviously, and it has the RX 300 chipset in there, which means it is a very solid chip, very solidly built device, and so far I've been loving it. So before I get into this video, I do have to state my intent by saying that I did receive this product for free from the manufacturer for the purpose of doing this video review. However, it has no monetary value to me, which means my opinions on it will remain honest and unbiased. With that being said, I would like to give a huge shout out and thank you to the people over at Wismec. They're the ones that sent this along my way for me to take a look at to show you guys. So this device comes in black, white, silver, gold, and red, and from what I've seen online, the price kind of varies depending on if you're looking at a Chinese website versus an American website. I've seen the kit, which includes the Elabo tank, go for as cheap as around $55 from a Chinese website, and American sites are going to be about $75 for the kit. But with that, if you want to get the mod by itself, I've seen them for as cheap as $45 online. So of course I will provide you guys with links down there in the description below if you guys want to pick one of these up for yourselves. So with that being said, let's go dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see here, I've got my Predator 228 in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging, and then we'll take a look at what's inside. So, first thing you'll notice, really cool looking package. It's got this little silver emboss at the top, designed by Sinuous Designs, manufactured by Wismec at the bottom. Really nothing too special about it, pretty much the standard Wismec packaging. Contents of the box there, some basics, specs there, color indication. Mine is silver. So let's take this off, and there she is right there. We got the Predator mod itself, looking cool. Put that aside for 1 second. Get down all the way to the bottom of the box. We have our Elabo user manual for the tank and the Predator 228 manual for the mod. So you get two different user manuals. You have your Elabo tank. You have an extra coil for it, and it comes with 2 coils total. So this is the triple 0.2 ohm coil, and you have a USB charging cable as well. Alright, so let's go over some of the main features of the tank. So first thing you notice is the metal drip tip. It is Delrin lined, so by pulling it out here, you can see it's a kind of a friction fit Delrin tip. Very snug fit. You can use any 510 tip that you want right there if you wanted to. The coolest part about this is the actual kind of slide lock design. So slides open like that to fill it. Could not be any easier. Then you slide it to close. Done. Very, very simple. One of the cooler parts is that this drip tip actually makes it child resistant. So that's actually listed as a feature on this thing here. One thing is the drip tip is a little bit difficult to get in and out. It is a pretty darn snug fit. There we go. So in order to fill this thing, you can lift up on the drip tip itself. You don't even have to take it all the way out to fill it. You can just kind of lift up like that, and then it snaps back into place. Boom. So with the Elabo, you actually have 2 choices for coils. You have a triple 0.2 head, and you have a NS triple 0.25 head. Now, it's kind of an interesting thing because the coils are slightly different sizes, and when you have the NS head in, which I have right now, it actually holds 4.6 mils of juice, or if you have the standard 0.2 triple head, like this one here, it holds 4.9 mils of juice. So it's slightly different juice capacity depending on the coils. One thing that's really cool about this NS triple head is the fact that there's no threads on it. So hopefully you guys can see down inside there, you can kind of see that rubber gasket. That actually holds this coil in place when it's threaded together here, but this coil doesn't have threads in it, so it just slides in and out like that. So technically speaking, you could actually just kind of hold this over the trash can or something when it's time to change your coil, and it's going to just drop out. So that's kind of a cool little feature. I do like that. So taking a look at the airflow on this device, you can see 2 holes on this side here. Of course, that is matched on the other side here. And with that, you have full adjustability all the way from full open to fully closed, and it does have a stopper buffer, which is kind of nice. Each one of these airflow slots is about the equivalent to like a Kennedy kind of airflow, I would say. So having both of them open at the same time is a ton of airflow. I will say though, when you do restrict it down to one set of holes here, it gets a little bit whistly, but it's not that bad. I would say it's definitely acceptable. So nothing too special to talk about with this bottom piece here. There's absolutely no branding or any engravings or anything like that. And yeah, the pin's kind of standard, really nothing too fancy there as well. Again, I wouldn't recommend using this with a hybrid mechanical device, not that you would anyways, but stay away from that with this tank here. So moving on to the Predator 228 itself, the first thing you'll notice is the Sinuous logo right there at the top. Pretty cool looking logo, if I do say so myself. It's got a nice big OLED screen, very reminiscent of the RX 300. That's because they actually use the same chip in this mod here. So here you have your up and down keys and your 2 amp onboard USB charging and update connection, which is just a standard micro USB. On this side here you have your trigger button, nice and clicky. And on this side here is just a regular blank panel. So it has that kind of nice symmetrical design look to it when you're looking at it face on here. It's kind of hard to tell which one is the trigger, but with that, it's got a nice tactile response. So on the bottom is the battery hatch where the batteries go in. On the cover here, it says designed by Sinuous, manufactured by Wismec. And just by doing that right there, the battery door is open. You can see the positive and negative right there. And when you take out the batteries, you can actually see that it's marked down in the bottom there as well. So it does have reverse battery protection, but they pretty much have you covered on as far as putting your batteries in the right way. So this is a spring-loaded 510 connection, and this thing is really, really springy. I have a feeling this can take pretty much any pin that you could possibly throw at it. I haven't had any issues yet with any one of my devices. It does have this little 22mm cutout section here, which is supposed to catch juice if you happen to overdrip or anything like that, which, I could take it or leave it. It just kind of, I feel like is going to get all scratched up from devices actually contacting on the upper portion there. But with that, nothing really to speak of on the back except for another Sinuous logo and the Predator branding itself on the bottom here. So real quick, I just wanted to show you how fast this thing turns on and off, and it's just as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, it's on instantly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's off. So I really like that. Of course, you can have a custom logo if you go through the Wismec software, but it's as simple. If you want to change it from TCR, power, or temp control, just triple click here. And when it starts blinking, like that, you can use your up button to change it between the different modes like that. So I'm going to leave it on power. If you hold the fire button and the plus button at one time, it brings you to the custom logo mode. Like that. You can choose logo on and off. I don't have a custom logo, so the next screen is actually the preheat function. You can have a preheat setting on this all the way up to 228 watts and for however long you want, which is kind of a nice feature. I'm actually going to leave that off for right now. So here it is all set up with the Elabo tank on top and everything. So let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. So starting off today with the pros, my first pro is that it is rock solid. This thing is built to last. It's built to withstand some drops and dings and things like that. I'm pretty sure if you chuck this at someone's head and it hit them, then you'd probably knock them out, although that is not recommended, of course. But with that, it is a little bit weighty, but I feel like that's kind of a sign of quality here. Just this thing absolutely can take the normal daily wear and tear. Moving on to my second pro, the side fire trigger. I love the side fire button. Oh my God, the design on that is excellent. The feel of it is great. You can just kind of squeeze anywhere and it fires up instantly. It's got that nice kind of tactile clickiness to it as well. But when it's not in use, it doesn't have any sort of rattle or anything like that. I really love what they did with this button. It's just so elegant, and I just kind of like using it. You can fire it with your middle finger, your ring finger, your pointer finger, whatever you want to do there. You're going to have this thing fire up every single time, and that is just 100% gold gold in my book. So for my third pro today, it's the reliability of this chip. I absolutely love Wismec's chips. I feel like they did a great job designing it, and this actually uses the RX 300's chip, so with that, it's kind of that familiar feeling kind of menu system and things like that. It's not over cluttered or anything. Fairly simple operation, and one thing I absolutely love about it is the on and off. It's 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. As you saw in the close-ups, it is super fast, and with that, I don't feel like you need a sort of locking system with this one. You just 5 clicks, boom, it's right off. When you're ready to vape again, 5 clicks, boom, it's right on. And yeah, that's kind of an indispensable thing as far as I'm concerned, because I am very cautious with my devices. Whenever I put them in my bag or something like that, I always make sure they are locked up tight so they're not going to fire or anything. So with that, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, it's right off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right on again. So yeah, absolutely awesome. So for my fourth pro, it's not really something that applies to me personally, but it's the 2 amp charging. It's not a feature that I would use every single day, but I have faith that if I was in a pinch and I didn't have a battery charger near me and I just wanted to plug this thing in for a little while, it wouldn't blow up or anything like that. So for those of you that really like onboard charging, that's going to be a huge deal for you. But for me personally, I always take my batteries out to charge them, and even if you look on the Wismec's website, it even tells you that taking your batteries out to charge them will be better overall. But with that, I still think the 2 amp onboard charging is definitely a pro. So for my fifth pro, it actually has to do with the Elabo tank, and that's the filling system. I really like the filling system on this thing. It's as easy as popping out your drip tip, popping that thing open like that and filling it up, especially if you're using you know, one of these plastic bottles or something. It is super easy to fill. All you have to do is stick your nozzle right in there and fill it right up, and you got, you know, a full tank of juice within a couple of seconds. So with that, I think that is a huge pro for me personally. The tank itself, you know, I could take or leave, I suppose, but that right there is definitely a selling point for me. And my final pro is that it fits large atomizers. You can actually fit up to a 28mm atomizer on this thing with no overhang. A 30mm will overhang ever so slightly, but personally I use it with my Kennedy 25 and it fits absolutely gorgeously. So thank you, Sinuous designer out there, if you're watching this, thank you so much for making that a thing with this device here. So often that gets overlooked when it comes to the design of mods. I mean, it's a modern day, we're modern vapors, a lot of us are using bigger and bigger atomizers, so I feel like more people should be doing that. Alright, so moving on to some cons. My first con is that it's pretty easy to get juice in these cracks right here that go behind these black panels. Now, I kind of had a freak out panic moment because I over dripped it one day and the juice just instantly found its way into those cracks, so I actually had to suck it out using my mouth, and luckily got the juice out of there before it got inside my mod. Hopefully they have a system in place, like a rubber gasket or something like that, that would prevent juice from getting on the chip or frying the board or anything like that, but you never know with these sort of things here. I feel like that would be a pretty easy kind of situation to fix with just a simple little rubber ring that goes all the way around the outside. I think that it would still allow that fire button to be depressed, and everything else would work just fine, and it would solve my issue. So for my second con, I feel like the brushed finish is definitely going to see some wear and tear in no time with this thing here. I've only had it for a couple of weeks, and I've already noticed a couple little tiny scratches on it. I'm not even sure how that happened, just kind of normal wear and tear. I will say, however, compared to the Smoke Alien, this thing is going to do a billion times better. I feel like the only pieces on this device that are actually painted are the little side panels, and I don't think that that's going to wear out anytime soon. As far as I know, this metal finish here is natural. That's actually what the metal looks like. Not sure about the other colors. Who knows, they might suffer the same fate as the Smoke Alien, but I guess we'll have to wait and see when more people get their hands on them. So for my third and final con, the plastic battery door latch is definitely the cheapest part about this device, and otherwise this thing is rock solid, it's metal, it's well thought out, and then you have this little piece of plastic that holds the whole thing together. So if that piece fails, then the whole device becomes obsolete, and I just feel like it's very cheap feeling, very plasticky, and very flimsy. So I don't know, I'm really worried that it's going to be the first part to break on me, and then therefore making my entire device completely useless. So at the end of the day, is this thing worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one for a review? And my answer would be yes. I really like this design. I never thought I would be converted back into a dual battery box mod user, and this is absolutely changing my mind about that. But as far as the tank is concerned, I could take it or leave it. Really doesn't do anything special for me personally. I'm more of a rebuildable guy, but if you're looking for a whole system for a pretty reasonable cost, I would definitely put this one very high up on my list. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Of course, make sure you hit the notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Don't forget to leave your comments down there below about what you think of the Predator 228, and also check out the links I've got in the description below. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and as always, vape on!